You know that feeling when you're in the water and you feel something slither up against you? Ugh, I don't like that, and I'm sure you don't either. But our next guest is not afraid of that at all. He is the host of River Monsters. He's a biologist and the most fearless fisherman in the world. He is Jeremy Wade. Jeremy, welcome here to CTSTYLE. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And actually I do get afraid of some of these things, but what I do, I study them, and I get to the point where I know I can interact with them in a safe way.
Yeah, what's the scariest situation that you've had on the show? I mean, some of these, the name is very proper, river monsters. These aren't just, little bass. These are giant, peculiar, scary river monsters.
Yeah, I mean, they are things that can do very serious damage to people, and normally if you look at them, you can tell how they're going to do that. Some of them have very big, sharp teeth. Some of them have poisonous spikes on their bodies. I think probably the scariest one that I've come across doesn't look particularly dramatic. The electric eel, I think, is very scary. This is a fish that has invisible powers. It doesn't have very big teeth, but that can deliver a shock of 500 volts. And they have been known to kill people in very shallow water. If that paralyzes you, you fall face down, you risk drowning. And there have even been cases where somebody has been there right next to them on dry land, and they can't go to help because they're going to get zapped as well.
Now, Jeremy, I want to talk about two episodes in season 7. First off, you kind of kick things off in Canada. There's a missing fisherman, and then you're brave enough to sort of go on the hunt for this specific river monster.
Yes, well, one of the episodes was in Ontario, and stories also there. I mean, stories of people being occasionally bitten, but also stories of lake serpents, which sounds sort of a bit weird. There's no big snakes that we know about in Canada. So, is there anything actually behind this story? And where this eventually led me was to fish for muskie. This is a fish that I've known about for quite a long time, but I've never really had a chance to fish for. I have to say, I knew that they were going to be hard to catch, or certainly a big one. I wasn't quite prepared for how difficult this was going to be. I think it's probably the closest I've been to completely tearing my hair out and giving up.
Now, this next piece in season 7, this is what I would be most afraid of. You went to Cambodia and you were in search of something called the Mekong mutilator, which sliced off a man's, we'll just say, man parts, and then you actually go on the hunt. How do you have the bravery? I mean, you're kind of a crazy guy for saying, hey, I'm going to put myself in this situation where another man lost his manhood.
Exactly. That was, again, the particular fish involved there, they live in sort of quite bad visibility, and what they will often do is if something comes close to them, they'll bite first and ask questions later. They don't exactly know what they're biting. But to give me a little bit more confidence, I developed my own protection. I took a polystyrene hamburger carton and I trimmed it to, what do you call it? What are those things you get from sporting goods stores? I actually trimmed it to a certain shape and put it in my underwear, and it gave me a little bit of sort of psychological support when I got in the water.
Well, there you go, protection first. Make sure you guys check out season 7. The premiere of River Monsters is this Sunday at 9 o'clock on Animal Planet. Jeremy, thanks again, and I'm glad that you're staying safe there in those waters, and I know for those of us, we're probably going to be a little more careful next time we take a dip in the Connecticut River.